Greetings, this is not the reader. Welcome back to my channel. I haven't filmed in a while, but now I am back with a book haul. I bought 6 books and now I'm waiting for the 7th one to arrive. The first book I want to show you is a new author I recently discovered. I discovered it from a Bookspace channel, and that's Beneath the Wheel by Herman Hesse. I already read the book. I spent the entire evening reading this, and it's definitely one of the best books I read so far this year. I have a series on my channel named Why It's Worth Reading. So this book is going to be the 3rd episode in the series. I have already filmed Why It's Worth Reading Beneath the Wheel, and I will release it soon. So what's this book about? It's about a boy named Hans Gibernath who keeps studying and studying and studying, and he sacrifices everything to study and to get accepted into gymnasium, or how it's called in English, I don't know. I can only say that the wheel in this story is more a metaphor for crushing souls and spirits in the name of academic studying. So wait for the separate video on this book. After reading Beneath the Wheel, I got interested in the author and I went to a book fair and got myself 2 more of his novels, Gertrude and The Last Summer of Klingsore. I haven't read either of these books yet. So this book is about art, what is art, the essence of art, or at least annotations say so, and the tragedy apparently too. The Last Summer of Klingsore is a collection of short stories. There are 3 short stories. First one is about a guy who feels sorry about candy that he stole. The second one is about the worker that ran away with a lot of money. And the third one is about a dying artist who spent the last summer of his life in the mountains. These are 3 different stories, but they are all united by one theme. They check their system's value and they change. It's going to be very interesting to read these. I think I should start with The Last Summer of Klingsore. I also got one more book at the book fair. Earlier this year on my second channel I declared 2022 as a year of sci-fi, and when I was at the book fair I got myself a sci-fi novel. At first I didn't know whether should I buy it or not, but eventually I did, and that's Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert Heinlein. Fun fact about this book, there is also a song of the same name by Iron Maiden. But even though it is said that the Iron Maiden song has nothing to do with this novel, the lyrics of the song do kinda sound similar to this book. So this book is about a young man full of hopes and dreams. Just like the young man from the Iron Maiden song. However, the difference is that the young man from this book, named Valentine Michael Smith, he's a Martian. And no, he isn't the type of Martian from Andy Weir novel. No. This guy was literally born on Mars and he is raised by the elders. So Valentine Michael Smith is kinda hard for me to pronounce this name. I always say Michael for some reason. So he goes through different stages of life. He goes through heritage, upbringing, scandalous career. Valentine goes through these stages of life, and everybody wants him, from the government officials to journalists and so on. They all want a piece of him. It is said that Valentine Michael Smith is a Martian Mowgli. I'm currently reading this book and it's really great. It's quite easy to read and also has a very interesting story. Oh, and I also like this edition very much. I like how it opens. Now I have discovered that I have a passion for musician biographies. I already read A History of Heavy Metal by Andrew O'Neill, and the next week I got myself When Giants Walk the Earth by Mick. This is a Led Zeppelin biography and I am currently reading it. I already read 270 pages. So since this is a Led Zeppelin biography, you get to know how the band came together, how they rose to fame and what kind of lifestyle they led. The success of Led Zeppelin, the making and selling of albums, touring, groupies, and so on. One of the reasons I decided to get myself this biography is because I wanted to read about the wild rock and roll lifestyle, and it was very interesting. I also really like the cover of this book. It's a very thick book. This book also has a very interesting writing style. If you read this book, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't read this book, you have an interesting writing style ahead. Oh, this book also has some photographies. I like that some of them are of color. They aren't simply printed on the paper, just like the photos in the Freddie Mercury biography. To celebrate the 50th anniversary of the world's greatest rock band comes this fully updated version of Mick Wall's definitive biography, When Giants Walk the Earth, with never before seen material and exclusive interviews with those who were there at the heart of Led Zeppelin's rise to fame. Mick Wall, a respected rock writer and former confidant of both Page and Plant, delves even deeper into the history of a band who would ultimately become one of the biggest selling of all time. It's a story of a band that wrote the rule book for on-the-road excess and eventually paid for the price for it with disaster, drug addiction and death. Above all, this is a book that tells the full, shocking story of Led Zeppelin from the inside, written by someone who has known Jimmy Page for over 30 years. For now, it is the closest you'll get to the truth. If you are a Led Zeppelin fan, I recommend this. And even if you aren't a Led Zeppelin fan like me, I still recommend this to you because you get to know about the typical rock and roll scene and the lifestyle. A few weeks ago I went to the supermarket and then I saw that English Book Education sold books there. For those who don't know, English Book Education is a bookstore in Georgia that sells books in English. They had a discount on Stephen King novels and I couldn't resist buying myself Different Seasons. This edition is absolutely amazing. I love how it opens and the font is quite big to read. So this is the first Stephen King novel in English that I got myself, well, apart from Misery from Penguin Breeders Books, but that doesn't count because it's an updated version, because this is adapted version for English learners. This is a collection of short stories. They are set in 4 different seasons. Have you seen the film The Shawshank Redemption? Yes? This film is inspired by a short story and it's from different seasons. It's called Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption. The story of 2 men convicted of murder, one guilty, one innocent, who form the perfect partnership as they dream up a scheme to escape from prison. I'm also interested in The Apt Pupil. A golden schoolboy entices an old man with a past to join him in a dreadful union. Also, this one has the short stories The Body and The Breathing Method, but I'm interested in The Shawshank Redemption and Apt Pupil much more. I absolutely love this edition. I really want to read this book, however, I decided to read this book much later. If I happen to go on vacation, I will put everything and take this book with me. It's going to be a nice summer read. If not, I will read it around autumn. I also have one novel coming and I will continue filming after that novel arrives. Alright, it's the next day and I just received my order. Here it is, from English Book Education. I'm going to do some unboxing in this video. Okay. Oh, I like this. Here's the book that I have ordered. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. So I've heard a lot about this book, and I also heard a lot about the film, directed by Steven Spielberg. I haven't seen the film. In the year 2045, reality is an ugly place. The only time Wade Watts really feels alive is when he's jacked into the Oasis, not the band. An immersive virtual universe where most of humanity spends their days. When the eccentric creator of the Oasis dies, he leaves behind a series of fiendish puzzles based on his obsession with the pop culture of decades past. Whoever is first to solve them will inherit his vast fortune and control of the Oasis itself. Then Wade cracks the first clue. Suddenly he is beset by rivals who will kill to take this prize. The race is on, and the only way to survive is to win. So this book is this sci-fi novel where they live in this virtual reality, and it's full of pop culture references. That's literally the thing I know about this book and the film best. It's full of pop culture references and it's there for a reason. It would be really interesting to read this book. Oh, and I also forgot to show this. This is the bookmark that came with the book. English Book Education often puts bookmarks when they deliver books. Dream big and make it happen. Unlock your potential, find your voice, and be the best you can be. Sounds very motivating. So, if you read this book, what are your opinions? Let me know down in the comments. Alright, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, follow me on social media. See you next time. Goodbye.